So today you're going to hear me go on a little bit of a rant on my pet peeves about something called diastasis recti. So this is something that I am seeing all over the place online in different moms groups, advertisements targeting women for different programs and things that are promising, there's this one magical thing that's going to get everything right in their abdomen. And so I want to try and set the record straight here. So for those of you who don't know what a diastasis recti is it's a separation of the abdominal muscles. So you can think of our abdominal muscles kind of like my hands here. So both hands are the set on either side, and then right down the middle is what's called our linea alba. It's a line of connective tissue that as we are growing a baby, so especially with pregnancy, everything kind of stretches out, and so we can get some increased stretch and give in the linea alba as well. And that can cause a separation in the muscles there, and this separation can show up in many different ways. But it is extremely, extremely common to see it in the late third trimester of pregnancy. And then afterwards, some women it goes away right away. Some women need some help with it. And we want to talk a little bit more about that situation. So that postpartum scenario when women are figuring out or trying to figure out, hey, what's going on with my belly? And things don't feel right. I'm trying to exercise and I'm not seeing changes. So what can I do about it? So I have kind of two main pet peeves, and when we talk about diastasis, that seems to be going around in the industry right now. So one is absolute recommendations. So what I mean by that is that everyone should use a brace or binder, or you should never do a crunch or never do a plank, or surgery is the only fix for your diastasis. So these absolute statements are absolutely false. Okay, so I know it's kind of sucks, but the true answer is it depends. It depends on the person and what they need to do and what's going on with their abdominal muscles and their abdominal tissue. So you have to be able to adjust it to the person. So are there situations where a brace or a binder is appropriate? Yes. Are there situations where we maybe should avoid doing a plank or a crunch? Yes. But are there situations where that's just fine? Yes. So that's where some individual assessment can really come in and be very helpful to make sure that a woman is heading in the right direction on her recovery journey. So that's my first pet peeve, is these absolute statements, because it is not one size fits all. My second pet peeve is programs where every person gets the exact same instructions and exercises to do. Now, I'll put a caveat out there, like when there are some wonderful online programs that I've recommended to clients who are unable to come and join me here. The Mutu system is one that I recommend often. And for the sake of trying to help as many people as possible, there's some standardization to the exercises there. But everything can be tailored to what works best for you. And that's where some people go wrong, is that they follow this one-size-fits-all program and it's not working for them. And so if that's the case, that's maybe a time where you need to partner with someone for some more individualized look into what's going on with your abdominal muscles, so that you can get the most bang for your buck out of your workouts and what you're doing to try and rehab your core. So everyone does not need to follow the same exact instructions and exercises. Most people honestly need to tailor it a little bit to the level that they're at. And that's where potentially working with someone like a women's health physical therapist could be helpful. So those are my two pet peeves. But I wanted to take a moment to kind of set the record straight on diastasis recti in general. So it's actually a very normal part of pregnancy. So research has shown that it happens to pretty much 100% of women by sometime in their late third trimester will have some level of separation of those abdominal muscles. It's a normal way that we make room for baby. Okay, so having a diastasis is not something that's wrong. It's a normal part of how our body makes room for the baby. What's important to us in postpartum is making sure to see if there's any ongoing issues with things like pressure regulation or how the abdominal muscles are working, or other concerns that are individual to each client. So making sure that people feel like they are getting their questions answered and they know what's going on with their individual body. It's not just about the gap. It's never just about the gap. And so we tend to make a big deal about how wide is the gap, but there's so many more things that play a difference with it. And quite honestly, I see very frequently women are scared into thinking that they have an abdominal separation, and because of that, they shouldn't be doing any type of exercise or movement because they don't want it to be worse. And they'll come in and we'll evaluate them, and they actually have a very small to no separation, but are still dealing with the mummy tummy issue. And so that can be a result of many different things. It can be loose, saggy skin, extra fatty tissue, abdominal muscles that aren't contracting and working well together and are very loose and saggy, or it might be partly a result of a diastasis or a separation there. So there are many things that play into it. So some people falsely assume that they have a diastasis and that's the main issue, but many other things such as loose skin, a hernia, abdominal muscles that aren't contracting or working well together can all play a role, and it can be a combo. So there's so many more things to focus on than just the gap. Okay, so yes, we pay attention to that as one indicator of what's going on, but we want to look at lots of other things as well. I get questions all the time of, is it necessary or should I be wearing an abdominal binder or a wrap? And some people will definitely benefit from some short-term use of an abdominal binder or wrap. I especially recommend it in the first couple weeks postpartum as everything's kind of shrinking back up, just to give some nice, comfortable support. I think of it as we want it to be about the level of support where it feels like a gentle hug. We shouldn't feel like our insides are getting squished out. But pretty much past the first couple weeks to a month there, I'm really wanting women to try and wean out of it. So most women shouldn't need to brace past that early postpartum time. There are some women where bracing is a necessary thing for them. They may have a very large separation and they are, for whatever reason, not a candidate for a surgical repair right now, and they need that abdominal brace to create the support there, and that is wonderful. But again, I don't like that catch-all type of mentality where everyone needs a brace. So there are some programs out there that require the use of a brace or a binder to rehab your diastasis, and I don't agree with it. I think that's problematic because not all people need a brace. In some cases it can help, but it shouldn't be a required thing. So if you're doing a program that does use a brace that way and you're having great outcomes, wonderful, that's great to hear. If you're not, it may be that we need to more individually assess what's going on with you. So I want to think about it in terms of, with a diastasis, maybe it's just a small little separation and there's really not much going on with it. And frankly, most of people will heal up within the first year postpartum. And so I don't want people to get scared into thinking like, oh my goodness, I have this separation, I can't do anything at all. No, the best thing you can do is to be active and to, get strong, move your body, and play with your kiddos. And so if you are worried that your diastasis is limiting your function or what you want to do on a day-to-day basis, then it would be a good time to partner with someone to set your mind at ease. I feel like that's what I do a lot here, is give people reassurance that they can move, they can exercise, they can be active. And yeah, sure, we may put in a few modifications or things they should watch out for, but quite honestly, I want to empower women to be active, to be strong, and to do what they want. So I think having that kind of empowering, take action sort of conversation instead of a shaming conversation. And what I mean by that, a shaming conversation where shaming people into feeling like they need to have a surgery for cosmetic or for functional reasons, or shaming them for not having a surgery because how dare they, could they not rehab this and get this back the way that they want to. Let's instead empower women to take ownership of their body and where it is today, and to love it, to own it, and to move forward from there to be their strongest, their best self. And so if there's anything I hope to impart, is that we women are amazing. It's amazing that, you know, we can bring a baby into this world. And even if we can't bring a baby into this world for whatever medical reasons, you're still amazing. And there's awesome things that you can be doing to feel strong and wonderful in your body. And I don't want this conversation to continue to be about shame and what you must do and fear that you're going to hurt yourself. Instead, you know, I want it to flip to, you are powerful, you are strong, and you can make a change in your body. And some people, it may require a surgery. Yeah, that happens, and that I've seen cases where women do need surgery to help recover from a diastasis. And I've seen other women who it heals up all on its own. And I've seen other women who do awesomely well with conservative management, working with a physical therapist, doing exercise, modifying their diet. So there's lots of paths to feeling strong and healed, and like you can do what you want to do. So please, please, please don't be scared, and don't let those out there who want to fear or shame you about your body. I would love for people to just be able to put on earmuffs about it, because we frankly are amazing, and there's lots of things that we can do. And if you have questions or want to learn more, I'm happy to help out any way that I can. So